Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our newest episode of Karp Talk Radio. I have got my two co-hosts here. Guys, why don't you introduce yourselves for the new viewers? Anytime now, boys.
No, we're just gonna see how long we can sit there. Anyway, I'm Chris Morgan, and usually I'm the guy that opens up, but today Jamie begged and pleaded, so I gave him his way.
Oh, screw you.
And I'm Ryan Ferry. I'm the guy that's not going to make fun of Jamie yet because that's my job outside of these videos.
Exactly. So,
And we're both very good at it.
yeah,
We take this job very serious.
That's true. So, guys, another round of regionals is finally over. We are through with the fall regionals. And me and Ryan and DJ couldn't be with us tonight. Real life got in the way. And we went to Fort Wayne.
We indeed did.
We got our butts handed to us.
Yup.
I know I said I was going to win the whole thing. Guess what?
You lied.
I did. I lied like a dog. I did the worst of us. So, I want to take you step by step. We ended up 9 rounds, best 2 out of 3. I'm actually going to bring up the names of who I played.
I wrote down a list too on my phone.
No, I just took the picture of it at the very end of the night. And I'll tell you what all I end up playing against. So, Ryan actually ranked above me by 1 spot.
Exactly 1 spot.
Exactly. I ended up going
2-4
2-4 and 3. Round 1, I went up against Carl Kuchak, and he did a 2-2-2 and then dropped. He played Archie's Blast Choice, and we ended up tying out of that match. Round 2, I took on Scott Modern. He played Manectric Seismitoad. Manectric is my worst matchup, as you guys know, because I was playing Lightning Rayquaza. I lost. Because he just kind of shut me down and used Manectric to clean up. Round 3, I tied against a man named Caleb Higdon. And he was playing the only thing I know what to call it is Miltank Water Starters. The point of his deck was to use Miltank as the main attacker, and he was using Archie's Ace in the Hole to get out Swampert with the Alpha Growth, Empoleon from Dark Explorers, and Greninja from base set XY. And he pulled off Archie's Ace in the Hole 7 times against me. 7 times.
Wow.
He decked himself out in both games. The first one, he barely got the win because I had a 1 next round because I could knock out his last attacker. Game 2, I knocked out his last attacker and he drew his last card, couldn't do anything. And then Game 3, we ran out of time because he kept on just doing a bunch of stupid stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't know how else to describe that. Needless to say, I was aggravated. Actually, during that round, I split a sleeve badly, and I left my extra sleeves back in the hotel. Kyle gave me the awfulest bunch of crap out of that. Round 4, I go and play against Sableye Bunnelby, and that was against Frank Jimenez. He ended up 0-4-3 drop. So he's a nice guy. He's like, this deck is amazing. How did you come up with this? And I'm like, I just took Metal Rayquaza and changed it to Lightning. That's literally all I did. Anyway, he kept stalling me out, and I ended up tying him. Round 6, I went up against Romano Polly, that was my first round that I won after I switched my sleeves. After I switched my sleeves, I finally won because I used my Rayquaza sleeves that my friend Lori got me from Japan. Thanks, Lori. After I switched to your sleeves, I finally won a match. He was playing Rayquaza Eels. Round 1, I just decimated him. Round 2, all he started out with was a Dynamo, and he's like, he pulls up my bench Dynamo to do it, and he's like, you got the DCE, you got this one. Guess what I top card? DCE. Had the float stone in hand, and I retreated to win.
Did you like slam it down on the table, like windmill slam it?
No, I'm not that much of a jerk. I'm a jerk, but not that much of a jerk.
Oh, but a little theatrics never hurts anything.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing beats a good top deck.
True. That is very true. Round 7, I played Steve Patterson, and I lost against him because it was another Manectric deck. But that one, I actually managed to knock out Manectrics both turns. So I'm like, you got this one, but I just want to feel good about this. So I'm like, Lysander up that Manectric knockout. And then he pulled up another one and knocked me out. So I kind of expected that. Round 8, I played a man named Lee Daniels. And let's see. Round 8 was Lee Daniels, and he played Primal Groudon. And here's what was interesting. He used the Theta Max Primal Groudon to be able to heal all the damage off. But that's probably one of my better matchups, and I ended up taking the win. And Zekrom actually got me 3 prize cards out of that match. Then round 9, I played a really cool guy by the name of Ethan Perez. And I lost to him in the mirror match. So I was kind of upset. They're like, Jamie, you got to play better. I'm like, well, I would have won my 3 ties if my opponent wouldn't quit stalling me out. So that was just aggravating. So everyone's sitting there changing their decks the next morning, getting ready for the LC that we was going to go to. They're like, Jamie, you going to change anything? I'm not changing a thing. I plan to O2 drop and then go get food for you guys. So here I go into this with such a bad attitude after I said I was going to win regionals. And I was wanting to do good, and I didn't. I go round 1, played against Evil Tall, of all things. I won. I'm like, okay, that's strange. Round 2, I played Seismitoad Crobat. The guy didn't even get a Quaking Punch off on me. Like, he couldn't get his double colorless. And I kept knocking his Zubats out, so he couldn't. So making the Golbat Crobats in his deck useless. Round 3, I played against Donphan Evolutions. And I ended up losing that round because he put Jolteon down to keep knocking out my Rayquazas. And so he kept doing that, pulled up another one so I could get it powered up, and then knocks it out. So he puts his Wobbuffet up for the spinning turn. I Lysander up back his Donphan. He didn't have any Phanpy on the bench or anything else powered up. So then I set up Shaman, and then I draw into Computer Search and Ultra Ball off the setup. I play both of them. Get the Computer Search to get the Spirit Link, and then I get the... I was looking for my 3rd Mega Rayquaza to be able to win, to be able to attack, because if I knocked that out, he had nothing else. He couldn't have kept up for the rest of the game. And I didn't get it. It was prized. So I looked at him and said, I scooped. I couldn't do anything. So that was my first loss. Round 4 was probably the best matchup I had played in forever. I played against Mega Manectric Regice. And that is my absolute worst matchup in the history of ever. So I end up I start out with my first Zekrom. Zekrom gets knocked out while I'm powering up my Mega Rayquaza. Mega Rayquaza knocks out Mega Manectric, and he didn't have any energy in his discard pile to power up his second Manectric, so he couldn't get anything off to power it up. So I'll knock out that second one. So he starts powering up the Regice. I had nothing but EX attackers out on the field, and the shaman they had on the bench, he ends up ACing up, so he couldn't get it. So I couldn't like Lysander for the win because I had Lysander and him to win the game because he was down. I was down to 2 prizes. So I ended up just kind of getting my Dynamotors down. Like, what am I going to do with this? He's not going to lay anything else down. And I finally get the N. So I end 2 cards, get the Sycamore off of it. And I'm like, wait a minute. This Rayquaza has 2 energy on it, and I've got 2 Dynamo Electrics. I'm going to let this take a hit and not go down. Promote that. It gets knocked out in 2 shots with Resistance Blizzard with Muscle Band. So whenever it goes down, I promote the Keldeo back up. Then I went in Sycamore, and I drew my Zekrom and my double colorless, Dynamoted onto it, and then retreated Keldeo, got the Volt Strike for 120 to knock out Regice. And after that, I thought I was going to throw up because I lost my worst matchup. I beat my worst matchup, and that was just awesome. Round 5, I go against Night March. Apparently, my opponent forgot that Rayquaza is weak to lightning and went and discarded 3 of his Joltix without realizing it. And then I kind of knocked out his Joltik attacker to be able to win it because he couldn't do anything else after that. And his Lampent was one of his Lampent was prized, so he couldn't one-shot it. So I ended up taking all of his Night Marchers out to win. The next round, I played against Tool Drop and ended up Lysander up Shaman to win. And then the very last round, after that, I was 5-1, and I was like, "Where was this luck yesterday? How am I doing so good now and not yet? And I didn't do the day before." I played against Seismitoad Giratina, and it was a brutal match. I got it down to 2 prizes, and he ends up taking the last knockout because my Keldeo got stuck up at the top with the Headringer on it, and I couldn't draw my last double colorless to retreat. If it wasn't for that, I would have been able to retreat, put up Mewtwo to win the match. So I went 5-2 and got 11th place in that tournament with I won 3 packs and 4 championship points. So if I could change one thing about that deck, it would be I would run an AZ. AZ would have been really helpful for the match. I just kind of like that card, and it would have benefited me a lot. But that is my regional story. I got to meet Jay Witz. Hold on, we'll show you guys a picture. I know I've been rambling forever. But anyway, you guys see that? You guys see that? Ryan, can you see that? Chris,
I just see a green dot with a J.
Really?
Yup.
Anyway, that's a picture of me. That's a picture of me and Jay Witz.
I still see a green dot.
You honestly can't see that?
Chris, can you?
Yeah, I see it.
Quit picking on me.
I see. No, I'll let it go. I'm not going to be mean.
You see my big fat belly and my stained shirt, I guess.
Yeah, one of those people look professional.
Well, he was dressed up to stream. I was just casually playing cards.
I know your mom didn't go with you. You didn't know what to wear. It's all right.
And that's why you lost. You were casually playing cards.
Cash.
No, I played casually the whole time. I made a lot of play mistakes at regionals, I'm not going to lie. Like, a lot of play mistakes. Then the ones I didn't make, my opponent just whittled me down to where I couldn't do anything. But anyway, Ryan.
All right. I guess it's on to the one who finished better than you by exactly 1 place now. I piloted, as I called it, Super Mega Turbo Hyper Aggro Lugia, Plasma Lugia, to a 3-6 record, 240th overall.
That sounds like a Dragon Ball Z attack.
Do you want to know how I played? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Anyways, so in round 1 of regionals, I played a guy by the name of Ryan Boardman from Rockford, Illinois. And this was probably my most surprising match of the day because I somehow managed to win it. He was playing Toad Garbodor, and with a heavy reliance on items and abilities, Game 1, I basically got stomped. Game 2 was much, much closer, but I managed to pull it out in the end. And Game 3, he started with just a Shaman and had to pass 3 turns in a row. And I managed to get everything in time, knock out the only Pokemon on the field, and, well, technically I never really got to knock it out. I was like, well, all I need is an energy if you're going to pass. And he's like, all right, well, I'm just going to concede right here as long as you show me your hand and let me see that you have an energy in it. And I had 3 energies in my hand. So I was going to win, pretty much. I felt really bad because he did start off just Shaman that 3rd round, and he was a pretty nice guy. Round 2, I played somebody by the name of Nathaniel Lamar. He's from Louisville, Kentucky. And I lost this matchup, and he was playing Waylord Suicune. Round 1, he discarded all of my special energies, which my deck entirely runs on, and I can't use Thundurus to get them back if I don't have a Prism energy to attach to them. So I scooped round 1. Round 2, he started double Suicune. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just Plasma Ball for my Kyurem. And lo and behold, my Kyurem was prized. And this kind of brings one of the regrets I had in the deck. Despite my heavy reliance on abilities, I was kind of wishing I had at least a Hex Maniac in there, or something that could be able to knock out a Suicune or prevent something like Vileplume, even though I didn't run into it. Round 3, I played somebody who's becoming a little more well-known now. He placed 2nd overall in the regionals. His name is Matt Price. He's from the Akron, Ohio area. I lost to him because he was playing Toad Giratina, and that is just an awful matchup when you're running entirely special energies and a boatload of items. Round 4, I played a Canadian player by the name of Wesley Tam. I lost to him. He was running Yveltal Darkrai Archeops with a Toad tech. This was one of the 2 matches I played where I got end down to 1 card. I had 1 prize left with the winning Lysander in my hand and the energy, and I got end down to 1 card and lost. That was fairly rage-inducing for about 10 minutes, but the guy was really nice about it, so I was okay with it. Round 5, I played Tyler Turner from Walworth, New York. I lost to him. He was playing Yveltal Darkrai Archeops again, and that was just dead draws everywhere.
Yeah, you got really salty about that one.
No, I was salty about the one where I was end down to 1 in round 4.
Oh, yeah. You came back so pissed off, like it wasn't even funny.
Yeah, the frustration was real, and I noticed Chris just walking away now, so this tells me how riveting my story is. Anyways, I'll go on for the people who are actually watching and listening. Round 6, I played Ethan Buck. I unfortunately never got around to asking him where he was from because our match was so quick. He was playing Plasma Thundurus Kyurem Genesect, and I managed to win that. He was a pretty cool guy, too. Round 7, I played Seth Budrick, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He's from Plainfield, Illinois. I lost to him. He was playing Tyrantrum Giratina. There was a misplay where he discarded 2 cards, and he asked me if it was okay if I could take it back. And I'm like, you know what? He'd do the same for me, so I let him. Ultimately, that cost me the game because he wound up getting the card he needed off of it when I had the winning card in my hand, and I was end down to 1 in the same match. So, yeah. But definitely.
That one was the one he was really mad about.
Yeah, I mean, I moved on from it eventually, but, I mean, I was more mad at myself for
letting him do it.
It wasn't even letting him do it. It was more a matter of bad luck, and I was starting to get my confidence back after the 3-match losing streak, and then that broke me for about 20 minutes. And then I realized it's a card game. It's not that serious. Round 8, I played Sam Peters from Urbana, Illinois. I lost to him. He was playing Yveltal Darkrai with a Malamar tech. and that was definitely one of the more fun matchups. He was really cool about everything. It was at that point where kind of the back room, we were all like, well, we're not going to go to day 2 anyways. Let's have fun with this. And then round 9, I played Matt Ferret, I believe is how you pronounce his last name, or Ferret. He was from the UP, the Upper Peninsula in Michigan, and I beat him. He was running a Speed Charizard deck, which couldn't really get going, unfortunately. But Mega Turbo Hyperspeed Plasma Lugia was able to take it out. And then the League Challenge the next day, the only change I made to my deck was I did scrap the Target Whistle for a Lysander for consistency. I really wanted to get off that Target Whistle Shaman, but I only Target Whistled one Pokemon in my 9 matches the previous day. And it was a Sableye that I didn't even manage to knock out. So I made that change. I went 3-4 in the League Challenge. The main highlight, I guess, in terms of funny stuff happening was I believe I wound up playing the guy that beat you in the end, Jamie. I think it was the 5th round, and he was playing Toadtina. I knew it was a bad matchup. I knew that this wasn't going to go well if I couldn't get Lugia off turn 1. So we were just cracking jokes the whole time, and that was also the round where there was the pairing issue, where they had to repair. So I decided to play Flip It or Rip It with my previous pair sheet, and Verbank, of course, loved that. So that was my League Challenge. My League Challenge, or my experience at Regionals, was more, I got to cross a bunch of cards off my want list for my collection. I got to meet Jaywitz and Puka, and I got cards signed by both of them. I gave out business cards.
Do you got the autographs handy?
I'm actually using the binder to prop up my iPad right now.
Oh, okay.
But I have a picture up on Twitter of it that the Team Magikarp Twitter account has retweeted. Oh, by the way, Team Magikarp has a Twitter account. I think we need to start putting our Twitter and Facebook in the description if we haven't already. I vote we need to start doing that.
Absolutely. I'll start adding that. I forget about the Twitter account all the time.
But I met a lot of great people at Regionals. I mean, playing the card game was fun, but for me, this is more about personal connections I make with people and the relationships I get to have with people as a result of that. So, in other words, I value people more than I value cardboard, even if it is shiny. And I do want to give a big shout out to Team Victory Star. I met a few of their members at the League Challenge, and we made small talk there, and they're pretty cool people.
Yeah, like Austin from their team.
Yes.
I've never met him in person, but I've talked to him quite a bit on Facebook, and he's when they first started their channel. He sent me a message and stuff, and then when we started ours, I sent him one. That way, we kind of work together and see different things, and if he'd found some things that worked for doing YouTube, he could let us know, and we could work with him and things like that.
And I forgot about this. My carpet shoe box that I picked up is actually another thing being used to prop up my iPad, or else I'd show you the 89 Magikarp cards I bought while I was there, because I grossly underestimated how many business cards we were going to need.
Oh, Ryan.
I know.
But
I guess everybody wants to know about my original experience now.
You just sat there at home and watched it on Twitch.
I went completely undefeated.
Yeah, you enjoyed those red starbursts, didn't you, buddy?
Boom, 3-0. It's a good time. I was hoping to go for the Grand Slam, but wasn't in the cards.
Ha! I see what you did there.
But guys,
I enjoyed watching. The stream this weekend was really good because it was all TCG. They did no video game coverage, which I guess for some people that might have sucked, but for me personally, that was a great decision. The card game has more to talk about than the video game anyway. So to me, it's just it's a lot better to watch. I know a lot of people, if you're not into the card game, you can't follow it like you kind of can the video game. You can kind of see what's going on, as opposed to, everybody taking forever on their first turn in the card game. But really good, and Jaywitz and Puka, and I always forget the other guy's name.
Josue Rojano from the Top Cut.
Yeah, him. They done an excellent job this weekend. So, even though I couldn't be there because of the adult world that we live in, I still kind of got to enjoy it, and you guys kept me updated about what was going on, and I was a letdown for you guys too, when you guys would report a loss and stuff. So, but you guys ended up having fun, so I think at the end of the day, that's important too.
And Kyle, our traveling partner and honorary Karp, was awesome. I know that he actually messaged us yesterday and said that he was starting to miss us, which was pretty cool. I was missing him a little bit too.
I was like, after hearing him snore and snore and snore all night, I slept 8 hours in 3 days because of that man. DJ said me and him was having a snore off, and I'm like,
you were.
Well, here's the thing. I only snore when I'm exhausted, and I didn't sleep any the night before because of him snoring, because I know I didn't snore that loud whenever the first night. But the second night, I know I snored because as soon as my head hit the pillow, I was about probably 30 seconds later, I was knocked out. So I know I knew I was going to snore. And Ryan, you snored too. You snored like you wasn't as loud, but you was like.
It was the quiet snore. It was the.
Yeah. And it was every once in a while, and then I'm like, and then he's like. Am I lying?
You're not. You're not at all.
Chris, if you came, you could have saved us from that suffering.
What would I have done?
You would have took his spot, and you wouldn't have snored.
No, we probably would have let him come with us anyways and just gave him a few pillows and said, here, sleep in the tub.
Hey, I brought an air mattress. Like, you could have, spooned with one of us, Ryan.
No. For those of you who have not seen me in person, I am 6'6", pushing 300 pounds.
Yeah,
I am a very large man.
It really wouldn't have been spoon. It'd be more like ladling.
No, it wouldn't have even been ladling. It would have been me hogging up 3/4 of the bed, and then the other person, if they're lucky, getting one thing, because I believe they were double beds as well.
Yeah, they were fools. And, okay, so where me and DJ's been best friends forever, we just kind of ended up sharing a bed. Me, fun fact, I'm a bed hog. He is a blanket hog. Imagine how that went.
Phrasing.
Sounds like ABC's new sitcom this fall. So
it sounds a lot like Red Starburst, bro.
Jamie and I don't know. I wouldn't go Red Starburst per se.
Maybe they're yellow Starbursts.
Orange. Because I like orange.
Rainbow Starburst.
Heyo.
They're more like Skittles, I guess.
But anyway, guys, we're going to have to wrap up here in a second. I got to go pick my dad up from work. He was just calling a minute ago.
And real life comes first, Pokemon second.
No. Yeah. But any closing notes you guys have or anything?
I've got at least get in 50 words today, so there we go.
Yeah, I believe that was number 51, Chris. We're good.
I'm good. I mean, we can wrap this show up now. I really didn't have much to contribute to this show where I didn't go on the trip, so.
Yeah, I did most of the talking.
Surprise.
At least a good 30, 35 minutes of it. I'm sorry, guys, if you're still watching.
And the deck that I used, guys, it's up now, so you can go and watch it. It'll probably be up here down below somewhere. So just go ahead and click down below.
Maybe over here.
Hey guys, I came one place below a guy who's only been playing since May. Here's my deck list.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, give me a high five on that one.
I redeemed myself, okay? Now you gotta admit, I redeemed myself.
I know. Let me look at that text message. Hey, guess who the guy? Remember that time I got 11th place at regionals?
True story, bro.
You forgot the part about an LC at regionals.
Hey, you don't need to mention that part. No,
Yes,
literally.
girls in Pokemon leggings will be flocking to you now, Jamie.
Boom.
Oh, yeah. But seriously, that's probably the biggest league challenge we will ever see. 100 people.
Clearly, you've never played in the Houston area, where they have 7 different leagues and 4 city championships.
Well, yeah, I knew that, but...
Like, the city of Houston is bigger than the state of Connecticut.
I know.
I'm just saying, I'm kind of paraphrasing the comments section right now. You're welcome.
Alright, guys. I gotta go to town. So, I guess I'm gonna get off here if you guys want to keep talking. But anyway, guys, this has been Jamie. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna do this again.
This has been Ryan.
And this is Chris reminding you to keep on splashing.
Keep splashing, guys. Throw up that carp.